Ciao a tutti, it's Arom, and finally, after like 5 months of the Spotlight system, it paid off. It paid off. Yeah. What is the Spotlight system, Marion? What are you talking about? Well, basically, every month, we have Moral Talk Monthly on the Hat Alliance Discord server, and every month wheel gets spun, and that wheel contains a bunch of decks that haven't topped. And this month, Herobit got picked, and whoever tops with that rogue deck of the month gets an invite to the Hat Championship of the year. And regardless of placement, usually you gotta get in the finals, or with pass downs, top 4. But if you top with a Spotlight deck, you can just get invited even with a top 8. And so yeah, let's get into it, but not before. Shoutouts to hotformatmeta.com. We have made a new update, and especially if you're an organizer, you can advertise your tournaments, you can post your results. If you have locals, you can even have this show up on our little handy dandy map. And yeah, let's get into it. Also subscribe and like and all that shit, and yeah. So we see Dr. House with Hero, with Miracle Fusion, Duality, Firehand, Torrential Tribute, and Wiretap. Meanwhile, Logger is on Geargias with double Arsenal, Geargia Gear, Bottomless, and Warning. And Dr. House is gonna draw a Miracle Fusion, and with Duality is gonna get Finish Chain over the hands, which makes sense. He already has a hand, although considering it doesn't have any other monster, could see Firehand being a play, the second hand. But obviously it depends on the matchup, and this is Geargia, so both Fiendish and the hands are good. If this was versus like Cat, I would have definitely grabbed the second hand. But yeah, Logger top decks Maxi, very sad he couldn't draw it on the first turn. Would have been great to stop set Firehand. I'm joking, obviously. Maxi fucking dead versus this deck. The only card that it's tied versus is Miracle Fusion, and I guess hand crashing. But yeah, it goes for normal summon Arsenal. That goes through, and effect special summon Geargia Armor, sets it, set 3 and pass. It's Geargia. But Dr. House crucially draws a Bubble Man, which is a hero. He needed a hero. Pardon the pun. But yeah, Logger top deck Soul Charge, which it's pretty good. Geargia Armor gets finished here. So Logger normal summons Arsenal, and he goes for the effect to special summon out Georgiano, so he has it in graveyard. It's interesting that he didn't go for the Geargia gear earlier, like in the end phase, but we'll see. Maybe he wanted to bait it for like stuff like Torrential, which he did. But it's not gonna matter too much because he has the Wiretap for the Geargia gear. Except it is gonna matter because Soul Charge is a card in the format. As always, shit happens. I heard this reminds me a bit of arguments that I heard back in the day about like, oh, we shouldn't ban Pot of Greed because my rogue deck will be stronger with it, ignoring the fact that meta decks will be even stronger with it. But Soul Charge is kind of like that. It's good for rogue decks, but it's also great for the meta decks, even when the meta decks only play 2. Especially when the name of the meta deck is Geargia. Anyways, he goes for Geargia Tex and set armor, and yeah, and also summons out a second Geargia armor with Arsenal for some reason. Oh yeah, I guess for the MK2, maybe, I don't know. Still, with the Geargia Tex, he searches the MK2 for the follow-up. Correct play. But Doctor House here top decks a nice hand, which would have been great if Logger wasn't playing around hands. But the reason why the hands and hat wasn't being played for a while was because the people were thinking, oh yeah, you can just play around the hands. It's gonna be fine. The hands are not gonna be very strong. And so people played cat. You cannot play around cat, and then everyone started maining triple breaker skill, even Geargias on top of triple finish chain. Yeah, I should make a video about the fall off of cat, but it's mainly just people started playing cat more. People started maining breakthrough skill more, and Ultra Plant stopped playing. So yeah. Anyways, he goes for the 2200 Dweller. Personally, sure. There's not really a great option. So, I guess you could go for this. But it is great back row bait. So the point is loading that gap the graveyard, then you can't really make Exiton before setting the spells. And you can't really make 101. And I don't think he's playing Diamond Airwolf, and that would be weird. But if he was, Diamond Airwolf would be perfect here. Frankly, maybe that's a reason to run it. I don't know. Could be an idea. But finally, Miracle Fusion is live. It gets warninged, but there's another one, and that Maxi is probably not gonna do too much. Draws main control, exactly. Not in this situation, at least. Maybe later. But he goes, instead of the Absolute Zero, he goes for Nova Master, which in this situation is definitely better. You definitely need card advantage right now. But he goes for the Gigan text because of Dweller doesn't float, and he top decks a skill drain. Well, I'm sure he's regretting the fact that he didn't make Absolute Zero now, I guess. But wouldn't have gotten it otherwise. He top decked an Accelerator though, so he didn't need to search with armor. So Skill Drain didn't do too much. But he goes for a very interesting play. Oh, I get it. He goes for the crash to get Geargiano, so he can make Acid Golem, which great play. But yeah, great play. So I'm curious as to how it's gonna get solved, because Skill Drain plus Acid Golem is nuts, but it's even nutser when it's not your Skill Drain, But finally, Logger draws a trap. He sets the trap, and then he doesn't use it versus the set card. Oh, okay, he does. I was gonna be a bit mad otherwise, but yeah. So he draws Firehand, and Mind Control goes for game. So now we already know that Hero Beat is gonna win, so we're gonna see an uphill battle. So starting off, he sees Firehand and Ice Hand. He's gonna catch these hands. Then Skill Drain, Finish, Torrential, and Mirror Force. Hero Beat may be shit, but here hand Drain. Now that's the good shit. Shoutouts to Blab. That guy just brewed an insane Heraldic Beast list, which is basically Heraldic Hero beat hand Drain, Fitch Murmelios, and with like 4 Heraldic Beasts. Shit's nuts. Meanwhile, Logger top opened Darkhold, Geargia Gear, the Bank, Finish, and Breakthrough Skill. I keep having brain farts. I don't know why. And he draws a wiretap. I can see why he lost. And Logger goes for an interesting play. Sets Geargia, sets wiretap instead of just setting the hand, which is interesting, especially since he has the bank. Not really sure why he did that, but he's gonna normal summon the ice hand. He draws another fire hand. Great. I don't know how many hands he's running. I assume 4. But 6 would be kind of nice, to be honest, since it's kind of the best part of the deck, kind of ironically. But yeah, he goes for the Giga Gear and goes for Skill Drain before the summon the monster, and he goes for Rhapsody. What? Huh? Um, and I'm sure there's a reason. Anyways, draws the Thrasher, and he doesn't normal summon the third hand. He just okay, goes for the Dark Hole into the bank. Sure, I still don't get the Rhapsody. Oh, he's running 3 hands, 3 and 3. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So he special summons the Thrasher, normal summons the Fire Hand. Because of the skill drain, Thrasher can attack, but it just gets stopped by the finish chain, and he passes. And top deck Soul Charge, and Soul Charge is gonna be pretty good, to be honest, because of Acid Golem. But oh yeah, right, he's at 1800. He still can make it though, but fucking risky under 3 back rows. So yeah, makes sense not to do so. Also, Fire Hand too, that too. So yeah, it goes for the Crazy Box. Also, actually, okay, yeah, no, you can activity finish on this skill drain. Anyways, he draws another skill drain. Goes for the crazy box play, and that gets finished too. But yeah, it goes for the Fire Hand beat into the level 3. He sets Accelerator, draws a very much live Gemini Spark. That's gonna help a lot. Not like he needs any help, to be honest. But Breaker Skill is fucking dead. The bank, okay, sure. It draws a fucking Thunder King. Holy shit, that's pretty good. So yeah, no wonder you win game 2. And let's see game 3. Shoutouts to Lur Tactical. Logger opens Armor, Accelerator, Firehand, Maxi, Torrential, and Needle Sealing. I'm sorry, why did he bring in Needle Sealing versus Hero Beat? Huh? Okay, and Dr. House draws Duality, Compulse, the Prison Finish, and Skill Drain. Goes for the set Firehand. Dr. House draws into Miracle Fusion, and he dualities into E, Dark Hole, and Wiretap. Yeah, definitely the correct play here. Kind of a desperate hand, really. He needed a hero. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I literally have to do this. The ghost of Christian will not forgive me if I don't make this joke. Anyways, set 4 pass. Hero Beat Gaming. It's not Edison. There's no Heavy Storm. What are you gonna do? Not set 4. What are you, Logger? I don't know. What are you gonna do? Not set the bank? I don't know. It doesn't have the bank, but so Logger top decks another Geargia Accelerator, which is good. Goes for the Firehand Crash. Frankly, I don't know, versus 4 back rows, Hero Beat, you know, it's a deck that I would expect to be playing the Dimensional Prisons. So, yeah, I would have just played passively. You know, it's fine if he knows it's a Fire Hand. Especially since, you know, he has Kill Drain. That Fire Hand is gonna be fucking strong versus Kill Drain. And even if he has Compulse, so that's just gonna stall the Fire Hand, you know. Anyways, he goes for the set Geargia armor, and man, Skill Drain is about to fuck him up. Speak of the Devil, he top decks another Skill Drain, of course, and he sets it. And, you know, just to make sure it doesn't get MST'd. Draws into Arsenal, not the best draw here. You know, could be worse, but yeah. Interestingly enough, he just goes for it immediately. You know, you will think that after the Dimensional Prison got baited, he will try to attack the Alias after flipping up the armor. But sure. You know, play passively now, I guess, and you know, get fucked by Skill Drain, I guess. No, to be honest, he would have got fucked a lot harder by Skill Drain otherwise, because, you know, then he would have a 1700 and a level 1000 monster on the field. So yeah, well, well, the Arsenal would have crashed into the Alias too. So yeah, there's that. So I guess he was playing around the Skill Drain. So yeah, okay, good play. So he goes for the, you know, crash Alias, expecting it to be a hand, I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm kind of confused too, to be honest. But he just discards. Oh, okay. Discards Maxi to go behind in card advantage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yeah, that's a good play. You know, although, you know, I gotta say, there would have been a better play, which is not citing the Maxi. Although, to be honest, I'm saying this like, why are you citing Maxi? Why are you citing Needle Ceiling? But, you know, at the same time, what are you citing versus Hero Beat exactly? It's a kind of a rhetorical question. You know, you got the bank, you got MSTs, you got wiretaps, you got Schoolmeisters. But, you know, the point is, I'm assuming he's only citing the bank, which is good into this deck. So, you know, I will forgive the Maxi. It's fine. I still don't get the Needle Ceiling though. Maybe because it's unexpected. I don't know. Anyways, he goes for the Exiton. Tries to go for, you know, he goes for the Torrential Exiton into Torrential, which is a great play. But, you know, Dr. House does have a compulse to at least save the Neoselius. But, you know, that is gonna be a pretty strong play. Although I'm not entirely sure if he could have chained the finish chain on that. Probably not. Yeah, probably not. Anyways, he goes for normal summon accelerator into special summon accelerator. That's good. Into Geargia Tex. So, you know, pretty sure he's not playing Crazy Box. Actually, no. Yeah, what the fuck am I saying? Is Skildring just left the building. Doesn't need the Crazy Box. Can go for the Geargia Tex. He can go for the MK2. Can set the finish chain. Can go for the advantage train. What did he draw? Dimensional Prison. That's pretty good right now. Anyways, he's gonna bluff a hand. Okay. Sure. I probably would have just normal summoned the Alias to increase the odds that he just attacks into it. Because right now I would not attack that if I was, you know, I will not attack that. I would consider attacking into honest, into a possible honest, if I were to get rid of a body on the field, though. That would be a better idea. But speak of the devil, I'm not speak. I was thinking about Gemini Spark, but, you know, I didn't talk about it. But you go, he's gonna Gemini Spark into the Neos Alias, into the face down armor, which you know, is not actually risky because you just searched it, but, you know, If he hadn't searched it, I would have said it was risky. But anyways, he draws a Hero Blast with it, so that's pretty decent. So, now we can go for MK2 into armor and then chain the Hero Blast to get rid of it. Anyways, draws an E. Unfortunately, that E can only call for like 2 things and not Stratos. But, speak of the second thing, Bubble Man. Bubble Man. Anyways, he goes for the alias beatdown. Under 3 back rows makes sense not to go for like an Excal or like 101. Makes sense. Not immediately, at least, with set bluff hand. So, to be honest, the bluff is not very strong. It looks more like a max C because, if it was a hand, I probably would have flipped it face up and attacked with it earlier already. Or tried to, would have got stopped by finish, but, whatever. Speaking of the finish, 101 is getting finished, obviously. And, now he has the materials engraved for Miracle Fusion. But he doesn't use it, and it gets blind Amistid, so that's fucking unfortunate. Luckily, he draws the Deprison. He has the Deprison for the Ice Hand that Logor just drew. So it's very likely he draws Miracle Fusion. So yeah, talk about fortunate. This deck doesn't play Soul Charge, I think. This deck doesn't really need Soul Charge though, to be honest. Miracle Fusion is fucking nuts anyways, sometimes. Depends on the situation, often Soul Charge is better, but, Miracle Fusion doesn't get rid of the battle phase, and, Shining is gonna not float because of the bonk, right? Draws a dead Gemini Spark, and draws a Compulse, and it draws a Fire Hand, and that's gonna be pretty good. And he sets the Gemini Spark as a bluff, and it draws Geargia Gear, and it's alive, surprisingly enough, so it's gonna be pretty fucking strong. And draws Thunder King Ryo, that's pretty good. Gonna stop whatever XYZ Geargia Gear is wanting to make. And, of course, he goes for the Compulsion at Thunder King. And face Geargia Gear into... he draws Finish Chain, and he goes into, I assume, Black Ship? Or 101, yeah, sure. That's also good. And sets the Finish Chain. So what's he gonna draw? Draw a Nobleman. Great. And he sets it as a bluff. He goes for a set Fire Hand. Nobleman is gonna come in. And Mirror Force, not gonna be super strong yet. So draws another finish. Draws Neo Celius finally. And normal summons it to pass. Logger draws Soul Charge. Is he gonna use it? Is he not gonna use it? What's he gonna do? He's gonna use it. Yeah, he has 3000 life points, so he can only go for 2. But he goes for Accelerator and Armor, which, pretty decent picks. And he goes for set Armor Pass. And he draws a second Nobleman. That's funny. And he goes for attack the 1-1. That's good. Top decks MST into the Mirror Force. And, that's pretty strong hit. He goes for, of course, the Gemini Spark in response to the attack. And draws Rota, which... oh, yeah, he has Trasher at least. Goes for Trasher, of course. And top deck... Sorry about that. I'm not gonna edit it out. Okay, maybe I will. I don't know. I'm gonna check the recording. Anyways, he's gonna special summon out the Photon Trasher and go for the Mind Control. and go for Gorgon, which there's no other monster on the field, so you know, okay, that is bigger than Geargia attack, so you know it's fine, it's good, you know, it's kind of funny, to be honest. Anyways, he draws into Ice Hand and he doesn't attack into it, into the set monster. Alright, finish. Forgot. Draws the bank, draws Ice Hand, tries to attack. It crashes into the Ice Hand, draws Bottomless, draws Kill Drain. Wiretap, Fire Hand, sets Fire Hand into, you know, the 4 back rows. Mind Control, Miracle Fusion. Gear, it's dead. Ice Hand. Soul Charge, it's dead. Torrential, he sets it. Arsenal, goes for the Arsenal. Goes for the Black Ship. Goes for the Bottomless. Wiretap. Ice Hand. Burns for 1,000. Top decks Warning. Miracle Fusion. Goes for Absolute Zero. Tries to go from the Absolute Zero to the Absolute Hero. And attack into the Black Ship. Finish Chain. He sets the Warning. Warning. Goes for the mind control on the set hand. That was pointless. Draws a Super Poly. Goes for the Black Ship on the Black Ship, but it gets Bottomless. Super Poly. Another Gear. Logar is literally running on fumes. He has so many cards, but they're all dead. Meanwhile, Logar has more cards, less cards, but you know, only one is dead. 2 actually. Wiretap, that's gonna be good, maybe. I don't know. Currently, not really. He goes for the Super Poly. That's gonna be good for this card. Goes for the Super Poly into. Now I'm curious. Is he actually running a Squirrel? I assume that he's siding it for the Super Poly. If he's siding the Super Poly, which I expect. I don't know. I don't know his list. We're gonna find out soon. I mean, to be honest, I could use my admin powers to find out. I literally got last place this tournament, but you know, I want to keep the mystery to myself. So you know, I'm not gonna spread it for myself, and obviously the tournament is still running, so you know, not gonna spread it for y'all. But yeah, that's it from me. Leave a like, join the Discord, subscribe, ring a bell, all the good shit, and goodbye. Oh yeah, he actually is running the Squirrel. Huh. That's sick, dude.